humans are randomly selected for live streaming of strange stories. And the people that are selected represent different parts of the world. Rule game: those who survive to the end get resource rewards for the region. Loser will be wiped out along with all humans in the region. Unfortunately, I was selected. The stream starts. Games are the home of weird stories. After school, you come back to your sweet home from school. Stay at home for 7 days. Any abnormalities in the home during this period? Can find a place to hide. Never leave the house. The remaining Rule 1. While staying in the bedroom, you can't answer anyone who calls you. Rule 2: 12 midnight on the date, to look at the living room window. Rule 3: check when there is a sound under the bed. Rule 4: when there are more strangers in the house, don't look into his eyes. Rule 5: do not open the refrigerator door. Rule 6: if stray animals appear in the home, they should be fed immediately. Rule 7: don't talk to your brother. Don't believe your brother's words. Welcome to the building area. Host acceptance. Enter the rules game. Please abide by the above rules for each game host. But not every rule is correct. Please distinguish carefully. Avoid being dragged into the dark by them. I opened my eyes. Has entered the world of weird talk games. Empty room with bloody wallpaper. Beside the bed is a window. It's pitch black outside. The rain kept pouring down, lightning and thunder. Can't see the distant scene. It's a depressing environment. Anyway, to survive, suddenly a dripping sound came from the wrist. It's a black smartwatch. Through the watch, you can see other areas, the players who also participate in the game. There are bullet comments flashing on the watch screen. Whoa, whoa, that's how the lights are flashing inside the game. It's so scary that Daxia District will win, mighty to persevere to the end. The wooden stairs made a creaking and sour sound. Subconsciously I held my breath. Who knows what's coming up? Footsteps stopped in the room. Suddenly a middle-aged woman's loud cry sounded at the door. Nana, you slept all afternoon. Are you awake? Come down for dinner. That sounds just like my real frog. I subconsciously want to answer. She banged on the door of the room. Strong enough to knock on the door. Speak quickly. Are you awake? I didn't answer. Shut your mouth tightly. Strange rule number 1: when you stay in the bedroom, you can't answer anyone who calls you. The people outside smashed the door hard for a while. See, I haven't answered. Cursed and left. There were heavy footsteps in the dark corridor. I wiped off my cold sweat, dared to slowly resume breathing. The wristwatch has a red light on. Those who participated in the game were eliminated. The rules of the game are live 24 hours a day. The watch's tiny screen is crammed with bullet comments. I'm going to be scared to pee. I thought the door would fail. The things outside are definitely not people, right? I took a look at the replay of the elimination of the dead contestant. Players from neighboring countries, a girl like me. The girl has been huddled in bed in fear, hearing my mother's screams and frantic knocks on the door. After enduring it for a while, I agreed softly. Then all the sounds outside the door stopped. Flashing lights in the bedroom went out. In the darkness, countless tentacles squeezed in through the cracks of the door. He wanted to hide and didn't have time to scream. Dragged into the depths of the dark corridor. 2. You can also feel hungry and tired during the game. You must maintain good physical condition in this environment. I looked through the crack in the door. Sure, no, things are hiding outside. Just opened the door, down the dark narrow stairs. To eat the dinner that my mother prepared for us. There was no light in the living room. Instead, a few pale candles were lit. Mom in an apron explains the stormy weather to me. The power went off in the living room. He turned around, staring at me weirdly. Nana accompanied me to go out and have a look. See if it can be fixed. I immediately shook my head. I'm afraid of the dark and dare not go out at night. I remember it clearly. The game usually stays at home for 7 days. Any abnormalities in the home during this period? Can find a place to hide. Never leave the house. You will die if you leave this house. Mom stared at me for a while. It's useless to turn your head and complain. Can't help at all, waiting for the food to be served. Two more people walked out of the dimly lit living room. Sitting silently at the table, one is an elderly man with glasses. Should be my dad. There was a young man in a cap. The hat covered most of his face. I can only see his bloodless skin and a thin chin. Looking at the strangely colored meat in the bowl, I have no appetite at all. I still want to vomit. There is only the sound of quiet eating on the table. Nobody cares about me. I quietly looked up at the living room layout. There is a refrigerator near the door. There may be other foods in the refrigerator. I remember the rule said don't open the refrigerator. But there are some strange rules of the game. Yes, some are wrong. What kind of meat is this? You won't die if you eat it, will you? Eat, eat. We still need you to survive. Why don't you try opening the refrigerator? Not necessarily dead. Maybe it's the wrong rule. Look at the bullet comment on the watch. Distraction. I finished the meat in the bowl. The taste is not as disgusting as imagined, but also hard to swallow. After dinner, Dad and brother walked silently to the sofa in the living room and sat down, staring at the dark TV with no electricity. Mom complains, cleaning up the dishes and chopsticks. Everything looks weird and normal. Someone chased after him. The cold hand grabbed my wrist. I looked back stiffly. The person who came to me was indeed my brother. Under the hallway light, this face is not that scary, even pale. The facial features on his face look a little handsome. Nana, I have something to tell you. You have to believe me. The cold chill follows him and grabs my hand. Crawling on me, I dare not speak, desperately shaking his hand and fleeing to the upstairs room. He didn't follow, but my eyes stayed glued to my back. Like slime that can be thrown off. Buck, you have to trust me. Buck, you have to trust me. Only I know everything. The world is fake. Stay here for 7 days. You can't pass the customs either. Game 3, back to the room. After I calmed down, think about what he said. Is this world fake, or the game itself just fake? All participants are lab rats. It's impossible for anyone to live alive. The thought makes my teeth shiver. No, I try to stay awake. Don't be bewitched by these inhuman monsters. Maybe this rule is right. Don't talk to your brother. Don't believe your brother's words. I looked up at my watch. How time flies. It was midnight after I woke up and had dinner. Something feels wrong. The flow of time is not right here. But in the game of weird rules, everything that is unreasonable seems reasonable. I didn't think much of it. After so long, no red lights on represents no participant elimination. The Earth is divided into dozens of regions. That means there are dozens of participants. Rule number 1, no answers in the bedroom. There are eliminated. It shouldn't take so long. No one breaks the rules anymore. You can't look back at death records. Check the status of other participants. I lay in bed. A little bloated brain clears the mind. Curiosity is human nature, what my brother said after catching up. I'm also curious, want to find out the truth. Are there dozens of participants? No one asked, as long as one person shakes and collapses. One more question, the rule will be triggered. Dragged away by them, complete elimination. Right now, there are only 2 possibilities. The first is that everybody is curious. I didn't talk to my brother. The second is that this rule is wrong. You can talk to your brother. Come down, continue the game, on the watch by the sink. Bullet comments. The netizens who watched the live broadcast have all kinds of comments and guesses. Just a few minutes, hundreds more bullet comments. I didn't look, afraid of breaking down, fell on the bed and slept for a while. Wake up, it's still dark outside the window. Took the watch, the time shown above made me wake up immediately. October 19th, 12 midnight according to the rules. To look at the living room window, it's been a day. I slept for so long. Everyone else in the room disappeared into thin air. Mom didn't call me for dinner again. I don't feel hungry either. It's as if I'm sleeping all this time. Everything stops. I live the same day. It's always raining outside. Forever the same night, only the date and time on the watch have changed. Users watching the live stream are also sending bullet comments. Is there a time warp here? No daylight. It keeps raining like this. Will it really not flood water in the house? Can the participants escape and take refuge? Look at these bullet comments. My taut nerves relaxed a bit. This is me in this weird talk game, the only entertainment time. At 11:30 in the evening, I open the door, down the dim stairs, go to the large floor-to-ceiling window in the living room. Watch between rests. Suddenly the frequency vibrated strangely. I got a text message warning. There is only one sentence. Never look at the living room window. This rule is wrong. My heart stopped for a moment to guess. Could it be a previous game participant? Mice like us. Who are you? How do you know this rule is wrong? My fingers are shaking. Send a message. No reply for a long time. The beating electronic digits are about to arrive. 12 midnight, sharp. I was crazy just now. He almost walked to the floor-to-ceiling window. Turned around. I thought he was going to die. That's amazing. How did he know the floor-to-ceiling windows couldn't be seen? Death replay also jumped out. I click on 2 videos at random. A handsome blonde foreign guy, standing in front of the French window. Staring out the window, he was attracted to something. Trembling with fear, I couldn't stop myself from looking away. A pool of blood was pouring down the top of the window. The blood on the window pane over the years slowly come together, squirm into dense red tentacles. The glass shattered. His live stream is bright red. Screen stop. There is also an island country brother, almost the same way to die. I feel a little physically uncomfortable. Audiences can see live broadcasts in all regions. Full screen of various messages. What a pity. Such a handsome foreign brother received the bento so quickly. The face is useless. It has to rely on psychological quality and brain. He is in danger and can't send any more messages. Or do I have a different time flow from him? It will take a while to receive it. Whatever it is, I have no way of knowing. I just don't wait for him. Go back to the room and go to sleep. The heavy footsteps reappeared. There is something in my room. He was moving. I was awakened by the shock of the bed, not an earthquake. It's something wriggling under the bed. Those who are tempted to climb out. I don't know when the light in the room will go out. It's raining outside the window, only blinding lightning. Occasionally brighten up a dark bedroom. All the senses are magnified in the dark. Heart pounding, tension is sobering. I remember rule number 3, when there's a sound under the bed, to check. Don't look. Don't look, don't look. Will die, will die. The watch will die and jump out of countless bullets comments. His text message on the watch still hasn't been sent. That is to say, there will be 2 correct. You can only bet once. I leaned down slowly by the bed. Long hair hanging on the cold floor. Looking under the dark, narrow bed. 5 if it is a horror movie. There are terrible things in the darkness right now. Drag me under the bed. I looked down. All sounds and shadows disappeared. There is thick ash under the bed, not even a mouse. As if everything I just went through was just my hallucination. The red light of the watch tells me the horror scene just happened. Someone else was eliminated. Death replay jump out. Game day 3. What woke me up was a knock on the door. It's morning. The window is still dark from the storm. The depression of home. The approach of death. It's stressing me out. The eyes are bloodshot. After washing your face with cold water to keep yourself awake, I opened the door to the room. Outside the door is a pale brother. His tone of voice was cold, but more human than my parents. He asked me if I hadn't slept well. I don't answer. He went on to say that mom was done. Let's eat breakfast together. Go up the stairs. The brother in front of him turned around. It's the 3rd day. You still don't believe me? The storm outside will not stop. You won't leave here either. Unless you dawdle, the food is cold. Mom yelled loudly to interrupt him. Fear flashed in my brother's eyes. He gives me a strange feeling. He's not like these monsters in human skin. He looks like a human. It's like he's a player trapped here too. Is that possible? Maybe we gamers eventually become a member of the family, left in the world of weird talk. Impulse, I want to call my brother. No, wait a minute. Oh, I pinched my nose and took a few bites. I found my brother looking at me, met my gaze. He looked away again at his mother. He was afraid that his mother would have something to say to me again. Mom mechanically cleans the dishes and chopsticks. I went over to the couch. Sit down next to your brother. He turned his head, pale face expressionless. Do you believe me? The rule says don't talk to your brother. Does nodding and shaking your head count as conversation? I didn't dare to react, just listen to him. You want to leave here in 7 days? Do as I say the evening of the 7th day. I'll take you away from home. To see the truth, my palms are sweaty. The general rule states that you must stay at home for 7 days. You win if you're still alive after 7 days. What he said was against the rules. Can I trust him? Can take the first bite, don't take a second bite. I can't take you away without this. My brother told me 2 new rules. 6 back to the bedroom. The popularity of hundreds of millions in the live stream has exploded. The netizens watching the live stream are discussing what my brother said. Can you believe this guy? If you do as he says? Is that a violation of Rule 7? What if rule number 7 is wrong? You need to believe your brother's words to clear the game. What should I do? My brother is handsome. I think he's right. I can see faces in this survival game. Everyone say less, let the participants choose. I can't make up my mind either. The brain is swollen and painful. In every choice is a matter of life and death and all humanity in the region. This low wind, there is a strange excitement in people's fear and nervousness. Adrenaline makes it hard to calm down. Thinking about gambling can be addictive. It's past 12. It's already the 4th day of the game. Not long after sleeping, the next moment, I have to turn the bed and climb out. Harsh tentacles come and go, leaving green marks on the white sheets. The bedside lamp is broken again. I pressed the switch a few times, and it didn't respond. Just give up. Get out of bed in the dark night. Get close to the seam of the bed to see what's inside. Same as last time, under my gaze, peace under the bed. The empty room echoes my rapid breathing. Even if you understand the rule of Article 3, still can't contain the fear. Back to bed, I wrapped myself up in a quote. The chrysalis lay stiff in the middle of the bed. Don't dare to move when I can't stand it and I'm about to fall asleep. A slightly chilly wind blew past my ears. Hair stood up all over. The window of the room cannot be opened. Impossible to generate airflow. Unless there is one more person in the room. He was lying on the side of the bed next to me. Look at me. How to choose? I only hesitated for a few seconds. Suddenly lift the quote to see the position around you. Nothing. The sound of breathing just now was like an audible hallucination. But the chain under the lamp is shaking gently. I didn't fully believe my brother's words. So it's not a trigger rule. Did good rest violate the 7th rule? But nobody said anything. I'm waiting in bed. Wait for the sound outside to disappear. The door opened automatically with a creak. I stared out the door in horror and vigilance. Nothing scary appeared outside the door, a hallway with only flashing lights. I gritted my teeth and groped out of the room. There were voices in the living room, and Mom's weird laugh. I slowly walked down the stairs. Mom's laughter stopped abruptly. He turned his fat body, glanced at me with a gloomy look. How did you come down? I didn't answer. Mom turned away. Opening of the living room door. The missing father has come home again. Hear movement. The man on the sofa twisted his neck. You can almost hear the cracking of his bones. He didn't turn around. Only the neck is curved in an arc that humans cannot do. Twisted around. Nana, I'm here to see you. Standing behind me, he scolded. Nana, you are so ignorant. Did your school teacher teach you that? Grandpa came to see you in the rain. You didn't even say hello. Don't look up. Others are talking to you. You have to look him in the eye. This is the least respect. I didn't move. My mother walked up to me angrily. A cold feeling immediately hit. Wonjin's watch vibrated. I almost forgot about the mysterious sender. He sent a message again to remind. Real number 4 is wrong. My hands and feet are cold. When Grandpa stood up twisted, I immediately looked up into his eyes. The thing wriggling behind Grandpa disappeared. There was an indescribable smile on his shriveled face. Nana has grown taller again. Do you still remember me? I quickly covered the red light on my watch. The smartwatch is out of power. I'll go up and charge it. Mom is so angry that she buys useless things. Come down for dinner later. I asked more about my brother. Mom froze, staring at me with terrifying dark eyes. Brother at school. My brother has good grades. Don't always pester your brother. Through Mom's reaction, I have a few guesses. Brother can leave home. Not bound by general rules, or the general rule is wrong. Will he really help me escape? My guess on paper. Users who watch the live stream can also see it. Nai, calm down. Care about us to stay in shape. Sure, when brother can believe, don't hesitate. Brother, according to my guess, it's a guinea pig trapped in the game. Why didn't he leave? Did you lose the game? What will happen to those who stay here? Will be controlled by monsters, can still maintain human sanity. I can't come to a conclusion. Turn off bullet comments, death replay jump out. Those who believed in the rules. I was awakened by the red light on my watch. 2 more people were eliminated. They're not breaking the rules. He committed suicide. 1 drowned in the bathtub. And swallowing toothbrush. Today's live stream is very quiet. Talk about the cause of death of the 2 participants. Someone doubts. Some people feel sad. It's day 6. Why can't you think of it? Sister Nai, you have to persevere. We cheer you on, and I sat there for a while. Go to the window. On the 7th day, will the system let us go? In the dark, there's something as big as a mountain squirming. I went pale. I stepped back. Look again. Just the shadows of the woods shaking in the wind and rain. Did you read it wrong? What is home? It's a trial of holding participants, prison or a safe house. Hit the window desperately, wheezing twice. The window glass is riddled with cracks. It didn't break. This material is comparable to bulletproof glass. After exhausting my strength, I slumped down my chair. Sit on it and breathe. Look up again. The crack in the window is back to normal. I want to get a closer look. The bedroom door opens automatically again, dark and silent, inviting me to unplug the bedside lamp as a self-defense weapon. Walk down the stairs slowly and vigilantly. No one can be found in the living room without lights. I searched nervously. Suddenly something jumped on the table nimbly. Gently meow at me. I breathed a sigh of relief. It's a cat, not an alien monster. The orange cat came up to me. He rubbed against his leg affectionately. Anxious search for food in the living room. There is nothing in the cabinet on the table. Only the refrigerator by the door remains. Only there can be food. Rule number 5. The refrigerator door cannot be opened. Obviously 2 opposing rules. One of them is wrong. Which one is it? The cat followed me all the way. Jump on the table and look down at me, meowing constantly. The cry got sharper and sharper. Its eyes glow eerily in the dark. I slowly grasped the cold handle of the refrigerator. Fingers shaking, cold sweat rolling down my head. The refrigerator door is pulled open, warm yellow light on. There's only 1 can in it. I take out the can, crouching and hugging myself. The stray cat leaves the living room after eating. No surprises. The red light of the watch is on for the last time. Screams in the video, mixed with the sound of bones being chewed. The hungry cat is not waiting to be fed. Choose to 8 game participants. There are only 2 survivors left. Everyone is waiting for you. This time I'm not afraid. Peace of mind almost liberated. Go down the stairs. 2 people are sitting at the dinner table. Dad, who hasn't shown up for a few days. And the brother who looks like a dead man. Only my brother looked at me. All the furniture seems to be drenched in blood. The atmosphere in the house is more oppressive and terrifying than the cemetery. Mom's fat body squeezed over, holding a pot in his hand and smashing it on the table. He mechanically served everyone a bowl of noodles. The soup is bright red. It's like it's made of blood. White Sands noodles look extremely strange. As thick as intestines, it's very elastic. A few bugs floated under the noodles. Scalp tingling, disgusting dare to rush up, except me. Everyone eats noodles in silence, pulling the white noodles so long. Wrap it in a bright red sticky soup and eat it. Don't be in a daze when Nana eats. Last day, I made a decision, watch on wrist. I left it under the pillow in the bedroom. If you can see the bully comment. I've got a million sympathies right now. My brother also advised me. The noodles are not delicious when they are cold. Do you have to eat noodles to get out of here? Under my mother's eerie gaze. Eat a mouthful of noodles, strange fishy smell. After swallowing, I held my throat and retched. Eat and keep eating. Mom slaps the table and yells. My tears are blurry, refuse to shake your head. Even without my brother's reminder. I can't take a second bite of this weird food. Chang Nai, how dare you disobey? Mom slaps the table hard, face becomes distorted. The eyes have to be squeezed out of the sockets. Eat, must eat. He repeats it in a weird and hoarse voice. I push the table away. The heart is filled with fear. Trembling eyes stared at the door of the house. Desperate to escape, just as I left the table. The hair was grabbed to death. I scream. Now my mother's face is bumpy, fat face inflated. It seems that this human skin will be burst in the next second. He took the pot where the noodles were cooking next to him. So strong I can't break free. These hands are pulling my hair. To press my face into the hot noodle soup. I put one hand on the table, the other hand desperately seeks. Finally touched a fork to eat noodles. Fork it into my mother's hand. The fork didn't touch the bone. Like piercing into greasy plastic, Mom screams that sting her eardrums. He let go of my hair. The wound dripped green viscous liquid. He stared at me coldly, eyes blinking quickly. There's a layer of film inside. Mom bowed her head, licking the liquid from the wound. When the wound heals in an instant. My hand holding the fork kept shaking. The ice paused briefly. Just found out. The tip of the fork was corroded by the liquid he was running out of. Monster, everyone in this family is an inhuman monster. I looked at my brother, doubt his identity again. Shoot, I believe him. Brother wears a cap, the whole pale face. Hidden beneath the shadows that cannot be seen, he suddenly asked Nana. Hands and feet are numb and hot from the rapid flow of blood. Leave home within 7 days. No doubt it violates the rules of the weird talk game. What will I face? Maybe a second or two has passed. Maybe a few minutes passed. I touched my dry lips. It's hard to say I've decided. His eyes collided with his brother's eyes without emotional ups and downs. He curled the corners of his lips weirdly. As if I had already expected my answer, I feel a chill of regret in my heart. I seem to have made the wrong choice. Brother stood up. The voice is very soft, so come with me. After I made my choice, Dad walked silently back to his room. And Mom collapsed on the chair, staring at me with discomfort. Hypertrophic lips open and close, difficult to ask why not continue to eat noodles. Finish this sentence. His limbs were twitching. My brother quietly walked up behind me, hugged me hissing, leave them alone. It's almost time. I was surprised to ask what time. What's going on with the game? What about them? What are they? My brother kept looking back, in a hurry, nervous urging. Come on, they're about to wake up. Who suddenly? There was a loud, sharp crash of tables and chairs. Mom, who was still twitching just now, silent stood up again. Her face changed. The dough is falling. My brother screamed before Mom and Dad catch up. I turned the handle hard, pushed open the door of the house. A flash of white light. I couldn't open my eyes. The dark night is torn apart by lightning. From the room behind him came a tragic scream. My brother grabbed my hand. Hurry up, I'm shivering. Hold up my umbrella. Black umbrellas can't stop the storm. The body is quickly drenched. Brother walks ahead. Ahead is a large, thick, and dark forest. Deep in the forest, again what I've heard before. The roar of a giant monster, and there were alarming sirens. My brother seemed calm. Don't look back. Try to cover yourself with a black umbrella. Walk slowly. Don't arouse their curiosity. I follow my brother's words. Lower the black umbrella in your hand. Try to cover yourself. Move forward step by step. The tree trunk is covered with face-covering monsters in the shade. And their scalp popping. Time warps here. I don't know how long I've been gone, through this forest full of monsters. The oozing cold sweat mixes with the icy rain. There is no dry place on the body. I'm shivering with cold because of hypothermia. The fingers turned an abnormal bluish-purple color. The brother walking in front stopped. When he turned around, take off your coat, put it on me. And I stared in shock at the building in front of me. Dujin trembling, behind the barbed wire, is a high-tech, modern white building. It's a lot like a real-world hospital. Or a biochemistry lab, barbed wire every 2 meters. Horns with flashing red lights. I heard the siren in the house, near the barbed wire. I should have run away. But I followed him, to the barbed wire fence covered with standing characters. 2 people are careful, avoid searchlights and detection equipment. When not far from the white building. In front of the building, it's a rectangular, cloudy pool. Drag out the corpse inside, the bodies they dragged out. Wearing a dark green sweater. Long black hair. I look at familiar clothes. I even forgot how to breathe. The body is, the stretcher swayed, head tilted to the side. I saw his face. He has a face exactly like mine. The facial features are distorted, blood all over his face, muddy eyes bulge. He seemed to have suffered something terrible before he died. I bit the back of my hand. Don't let yourself make a sound. That corpse is me. I'm obviously still alive. Is it possible that, in this game world, there are countless me? The sky is dizzy. When I can't think or breathe, they took my body. My limbs were shaking, eyes straightened, instinctive. To let out a piercing scream from your throat. My brother covered my mouth when he found out. His fingers are cold, there's no temperature. I fell into his arms, see him pale. I see their faces under the mask. The green, fat meatball is a bit human-like. More like a spooky octopus. Is there anything under their faces? Tiny tentacles shaking, dark green eyes. It's like a dark, dark sea floor. I was overwhelmed by fear, forgot to run away. Watching my brother's tentacles being stretched out, pierced the chest, he pulled me up. My brother raised his hand to hold me. I gritted my teeth and squatted down to hold my brother's hand. I remember the system sound when entering the game again. If the host needs anything, my brother will answer for me. The point redemption system sound jumped out. The host died 38,510 times in the game. 60,000 points. What do you need to redeem? Listening to my brother's cries of pain and the lowering airflow of the spaceship. I didn't have time to see more. Found weapon interface. Pick the most expensive heavy weapon inside, as long as I can get out of here. I'm willing to pay any price. Laser cannon redeemed. All the host's points are used up. An extra cold weapon in his hand. The brother on the ground died without breathing. I carry my weapon, aim at the spaceship, and press down. The purple laser emitted a loud explosion. Countless burning metal fragments fell. The vibrating explosion gave me a ringing in my ears. Fire and explosion currents swept in. I was knocked to the ground by the turbulence. Fell unconscious. 13 woke up. I'm lying in my room. There is cooked rice porridge on the table. The rich rice fragrance is tempting. Sit at the table. I'm satisfied with the tired and lazy. The nightmare game world is over. No more disgusting food. It feels good to be alive. I pick up chopsticks. I just found a note under the bun. It's Dad himself. Eyes are red. This note is just a warning from Dad. But after going through the rules of the game, I was left with symptoms. The drawing on the note is like a rule of the game. Unfortunately, I twisted up the note with force, throw it in the trash with a bang. The mother who heard the voice paused for a moment. The selection of dishes slows down. The atmosphere at home is starting to get weird. I lost my appetite for breakfast, turned on the TV irritably. The TV popped up with a show I hadn't seen before, counting bullets comments floating on it. Someone is going to die soon. Who was the first? Kind of looking forward to how he died. The unswallowed porridge in my mouth becomes sticky. Nana, where are you? I cooked the rice porridge you like. I'm sweating. A pair of eyes stared at the mirror thinking, the place where the game violated before was my brother. There must be something wrong with Rule 7. I violated Rule 7, but no one could have imagined. Rules can be half right and half wrong. It's wrong not to talk to your brother. Don't believe what your brother says is right. Left in the game, outside the biochemical base. After I shoot down the ship with a laser cannon, they were all killed together because I broke the rules. I believed my brother's words. I left home with my brother in 7 days. Lost the game, never returned to the real world. When I leave home, Mom wrote it on the glass window with her tentacles. You should have lost. My brother deliberately dragged me. Didn't let me finish, more likely, on TV. The bullet comment I interacted with in the watch is also fake, used to cloud the judgment of participants. Cthulhu feeds on human fear. How could he let us guinea pigs go? All game losers don't really die. You are disobedient, Dad told you. Don't make noise while eating. He opened his mouth. The tongue that should have been turned into bright red tentacles rolled towards me. I hold my phone and dare not look back. Run to the upstairs bedroom. After running into the bedroom, I knocked down the closet, blocked the door of the room. Only block him for a few minutes. It's enough to buy me time. I quickly added messages on my phone. Sent it to the watch number I used before, if my guess is true. There are countless cells in this closed loop of time and space. After I left the game of House of Strange Tales, there will be a new me waking up in it. Replay the game. Never look at the living room window. This rule is wrong. Nana, come out. Don't make Mom angry. The things outside are gentle, but brutally hit the door. My closet is crumbling. As I thought, there's news over there. Who are you? How do you know this rule is wrong? I wiped a handful of cold sweat that blocked my view. It's too late to answer his words. When the bright red tentacles broke in, I sent the last message. Don't believe your brother's words. Mama, dragging long tentacles out of her mouth, came to me. He narrowed his eyes gently. Nana, violated Dad's note. Be punished. Good night.